Hey, everybody's here. Thanks for joining. Adam, you want to kick this off?
Awesome. Yes. Hello, I'm Adam Kaplan. Company is DC Supply. If you don't know us, we are a distribution and deployment house. Welcoming Dejavoo here to discuss all of their products and some of the core new products that got coming on. I was recently in Puerto Rico where they presented their unattended solution, and we were blown away by what they created. I want to go over that. So from that, I really wasn't paying attention. Am I going first? You guys going first? You guys are
You
going first,
can,
right?
yeah, you could give an overview or you can do it afterwards. We can let
Right.
them start now.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, I'll go afterwards, but I want to thank everyone that's here. We'll keep it short and sweet, and we'll do questions afterwards. But absolutely, throw them into the chat during it. We'll monitor it, and we'll present this answer to those right away. So let's kick it off and let's do it.
Okay,
Uh,
so may I, Adam?
All yours. Hand it off.
Yeah, so good morning. Thank you for joining. We appreciate the opportunity. Chris, my colleague, will provide an overview about our 20 years already going traditional terminal businesses and the new development in this field. And I will describe the relatively new coming unattended vertical. So as advised, Dejavoo is operating in the payment acceptance solution space for nearly 20 years. And in the last 2 years, we've decided to expand beyond the traditional countertop and pin pads and the gateway solution that we have and run very extensively across millions of terminals through 1,500 plus resellers, ISOs, and ISVs, also into the unattended vertical, which represent a significant market opportunity for any player in this space, but somehow is relatively short of offerings. As you would see soon, there are only a limited number of major providers in this space, and I'll try to provide you a little bit of a market overview in terms of the potential and the metrics that you would probably see. So basically, the unattended market represent, as of last year, around $6 billion, and it's expected to grow, and we'll see more and more use cases of unattended, where it's not only the traditional vending machine or kiddie rides in the shopping centers, but going to many of our day-to-day activities, where more of the consumers appreciate the option to self-service themselves. So it's across EV charging, you see it in parking, in ticket ordering, in the sky's the limit, actually. And the idea is that those self-service implementation are gradually moving to cashless, and this is where we are stepping in with a diverse architecture to provide coverage to most of the use cases in this space. So in terms of understanding the breakdown of the full stack, you see that the hardware, I'm talking here just about the payment terminal. I'm not talking about the actual cost of the vending or the EV charger machine. I'm talking about only the payment terminals and the business associated. So it is around 30% for the hardware. There is a clear and non-disputable SaaS element. Everybody in this space understands that there are associated SaaS costs for the operation of the service, and the processing revenues are significant as well, even though you must understand that there are some differences. And when you're dealing with processing in this space, you may need to learn a little bit about some of the acquirers, what is called unattended interchange discount programs. Uh, those are programs that are designed for small ticket implementations and specific MCCs, mostly the traditional vending use cases. And once you manage to have your merchant or operator eligible for that program, they could benefit of up to 40 business basis point discount. So it's important to be aware of that once you engage with setting up a merchant or an operator. All in all, there are around 3.5 connected EMV devices, and there is a turnaround, a replacement of around 20%. So this is a very vibrant market. Out there, you would find on or about 15,000 operators across the different verticals. It's important to mention that once you address this space, you would not typically deal with a small merchant like use case that you would see in a typical terminal implementation. Most of these fleets of machines are run by operators that runs hundreds at the lowest. It would be dozens of machines up to tens of thousands, the big butlers, the Coca-Cola of the industry, and they would know their game. They service their machine. They have a team that actually go and refill the machine. They have the knowledge of how to set up the payment terminal, how to configure, how to troubleshoot errors. So you are talking here with capable operators. It's not that you would need to hold their hand as you would have needed with a small merchant that has a coffee shop. So those guys most likely know the game. And the main providers are currently Nayax and 365 Retail Market that recently acquired Cantaloupe. So it's a very limited offering, and those players are well established, and clearly there is a demand for more offering out there, and we believe that we are really representing a new very attractive offering that can make a dent, and a lot of the operators out there are eager for alternatives. And in terms of the market potential, we are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that are relatively low-hanging fruits to be serviced. So a little bit about the actual offering. What is it comprised of? So we have presented two main hardware solutions, and shortly I'll show you the technology about it, but just to get a general overview, on the right side you can see our version of a self-service kiosk. This kiosk, 22-inch, is an Android-based device, meaning it runs Android-based kiosk software. It could be used either for self pre-ordering, like in quick service restaurants, or for self-checkout. It has as peripherals, as you can see here on the right side, a built-in Android pin pad. This is our QD3 mini pin pad that is arriving with the unit already mounted. And it has a scanner and a printer. It has a stand, and it's a very attractive package that represent a meaningful competitive offering compared to other kiosks in the market. We may sell it either with our own software for small businesses, either for the quick service restaurant use case with the kitchen display integration and with the kitchen printer if needed, or for a self-checkout use case. So these are this is the offering that we present for the kiosk use cases. The more interesting and unique is what we present for the other use cases, and this is the QD3 UPT. UPT stands for Unattended Payment Terminal. What you are looking at is a type of an instance of a true unattended payment terminal. What makes such a terminal true unattended device? First is the rigidness. Those devices are designed for outdoor use. They are IP65 graded. They are very rigid, and they are also IK10 graded as anti-vandal. They can withhold not a nice treatment by both youth. And the other thing that qualifies those terminal is the proprietary connectors for the specific cables in the traditional vending space. And as you can see here at the back, there is this white connector, which is for an MDB cable. In a minute, we'll discuss it. And you would not find it on a typical terminal. This is only found for vending use cases, and we'll discuss it. So both those elements are qualifying what you would need as an unattended payment terminal. So in terms of the technology and the architecture behind it, I'll give you a little bit of an overview about what you may find out there. So on the left side of this slide, you can see on the lower part the kiosk, and you can see above it what stands for a traditional vending. The kiosk would stand for any, let's call it, smart machine. This could be EV charger, this could be a parking payment station, any type of machine that has an internal software running on an internal processor. And as such, it could run a software that is integrated to communicate over an API with the payment terminal. So whenever you have a smart machine use case, you can simply use what we call SPIN, our secure payment interface, as a way to communicate between the smart machine and the payment terminal. I'll show you here. This is our SPIN that is very easy to implement. It is probably a day or maximum 2 days work, and any type of smart machine, be it a kiosk, be it this type of ice cream orchestration vending, and also very simple POS solution, any of those would be able to implement our API and communicate with any of our terminal. In this case, we are talking about the UPT, because in outdoor use cases, you would need this type of device. Now, when you're dealing with the traditional machines that does not has the internal processing capability, those machines typically have an internal stupid board or controller. And the only way to communicate with those machines is through physical cable, MDB and DEX cables. You can see it here. Those are proprietary cables for this industry, and you need to physically connect it between the machine and the terminal. Now, not only that you need the back of the terminal to have the applicable connections and to be able to connect and plug in with those cables, there is a need for a full stack of code to be able to communicate and understand the, the data being transmitted through those cables. And the data comprise of two type of data files, MDB and DEX, when we're dealing with a vending machine. In between MDB and DEX, the entire data related to the operation of the machine is transmitted. It starts from payment related commands to inventory related commands, errors about machine problems, if a dispense was stuck, if a bulb goes off, if a temperature failure has been identified. All that data would be sent through MDB and DEX file from the machine through the physical cable to the terminal. Now, the heavy lifting is that on top of having a payment app, which is the bare necessity for any payment terminal, in our case, our payment app communicate with our gateway and continue the transaction from there onward to the operator. On top of this trivial part that you would find on any payment terminal, we had to develop what we called VIP app, which is the stack of code that is required to be able to talk with the vending machine, to communicate through the physical cable according to the MDB and DEX protocol. And this was a huge investment. We have acquired a company that specializes in this space for over 10 years, and we've been working on that for the last 18 months, and we're now officially launching it. And this would give us a coverage to the entire range of those traditional vending machines. Additional portion of that VIP app would also be the Pulse protocol, which is required for Pulse operated machine, such as kiddie rides, such as car vacuum in gas stations, such as massage chairs, any type of machine that is operated by an electric pulse. Now, on top of what I've just shared with you, which is the need for this additional stack of code, there is yet another element that is unique when you are dealing with vending machine, with a traditional vending machine, which, by the way, represent the majority of the unattended machines out there. The new type of smart machine are in the hundreds of thousands, maybe a million, but out of those 3 millions, the majority, 2 million around on or about, are the traditional vending machines. So this would be most of the market out there. So on top of the VIP app that we've added, as you can see on the right side, we are actually submitting the data that was extracted from the vending machine. We are submitting it to the cloud and make it available for what we called VMS, what is called VMS, which stands for Vending Management System. VMS is the way an operator would remotely be able to manage his machines. The typical VMS solution would allow an operator to remotely view the balance of his vending machine, to know the inventory status, to see errors once occurred. And we offer a very open architecture, allowing the operator that runs the fleet to either use our VMS or to select a third-party VMS out of several options that are available out there. We would make sure to have the API and webhooks easily and conveniently available for any third-party VMS to connect to our system and be able to get the files submitted from our from the machines powered with our terminals. Important to mention that there are several levels of VMS capabilities. The basic would be relying on a one-way communication, meaning the data would be extracted from the devices, sent to the cloud, and populated in a meaningful manner to the operator on some sort of a cloud dashboard. And that will allow the operator to see what is the status with the machine, what is the inventory levels, what are the errors that have been reported, and so on. The higher level of implementation would also support what is called server-side command. And the idea here that you not only present what is being received from the vending machine, you can also send command backwards to the machine, such as price update, such as instruction to remotely vend an item. And this is very useful and important when you run a fleet of machine. And our system allows that, and that provide an extra strength to the platform. Just to give you a reference, that would be how our VMS looks like. So you can get high-level dashboard reports, you can see your items, you can update price, you can track inventory, and on top of that, there are additional capabilities such as route planning for refilling the machine, connectivity to warehousing services, to pre-kit whatever necessary for the service team to have before they go into to serve the fleet, and so on and so forth. So all in all, just to summarize, we have put together a very comprehensive suite of unattended solution, and we are coming with what we called an a la carte approach. The a la carte approach is in the sense that we allow, whenever possible, the flexibility to the operator to choose and pick their preferred element, such as in the VMS case. Another example is that we are now having our gateway certified initially with thesis, and we are currently working also on certifying with Fiserv North and with Elavon. So eventually we will offer 3 acquirers as potential processing services providers on our unattended solutions. So, and there are a few other more technical examples of this approach that we can share with you in more detailed discussions. So this is basically what we bring into the table. And not only that we have quite a robust architecture with a lot of bells and whistles and unique features and very distinct strengths that we can drill down in more detailed discussions once you bring up clients. We also have very competitive pricing that would be a real fresh announcement to the market. So all in all, we invite you to reach out. We will work with you to support you in qualifying your prospects. You don't need to do it yourself. We will guide you with communication materials. We will be with you on the calls to address questions, to qualify each and every case. And as time goes by, you will grow confident. And the idea is that there is pretty much an evergreen opportunity out there waiting for us to come and address with this new offering. So thank you very much for your attention. I'll be very happy to take questions. So please, Adam, if you want to moderate it.
Awesome. Great. Any questions out there? Hit me up. Is there a button that lets
I
people
think
talk?
they can either unmute themselves or chat it.
Okay.
Either one can work. I think if you cannot unmute yourself, then go ahead and chat it up.
No one's saying anything. Since I just want to throw this in here, I've seen him do this presentation a couple times now, and I've been to a couple shows and I've walked through airports, and now I'm seeing what he's talking about. Every single device that I see says NIAX on it, which means that they're doing the processing. The customer, the guy, the jobber, the people that own these groups of devices, they own 50, 100 of them. They don't own just one. They own a bunch of them, where they go out there and they're filling them. And the old style was you do a USB and you go back and you get the data, so now they've got this where there's software and it tells you how many are on each coil and what the sales are on each coil. And there's different software that you can attach to this piece. But the key here is that this is an open platform, right? We compare this to right here, amazing, right? How is the sales at the top versus sales at the bottom, right? And there's things that you can add to this. This is not something that they have right now, because they get paid once a week and then they have to update the information. So they have all this data on hand. Absolutely helps them. If they don't sell any Cheez-Its on this machine, they won't know it until they show up, right? But if they're all sold out of Twix, then that they lost out on opportunity. So while there is a monthly fee for this service, it absolutely pays for it quickly. And then who are the customers? The customers are those guys that have 50, 100 these amusement parks, that type of thing, and they're looking for change. They're looking for new opportunities. They don't want to get locked in, right? Now, the hard part of this is, hey, I got to go convince my processor to give them the right rate, right? We got to make sure that the MCC code is correct for this customer. They're getting the right pricing. That's huge, right? When we're boarding new accounts. And so boarding new accounts, if it's new, it's going to be more difficult. But as you get used to it, it's absolutely worth the effort, because as we say, if it's easy, everybody will be doing it. Unfortunately, Dejavoo is making it easy. So the question here is, are you ready to step in to start doing it? If not, somebody else is going to do it. There are lots of people in that industry, in this vertical. The question is, the first is present this to your team of agents and say, hey, this is something that's out there. In the past, you would be one-off, go, oh, well, they have this, they want this. You have to say to them, okay, well, you don't have to do it that way. There's another way. This is the first time there's been another way. We work with every vendor out there, and no one has presented anything like this. They're like, hey, here's this little white plug in the back. Show them the little white plug, y'all. There's this little white plug in the back. That'll connect to your system, and then you're on your own.
Adam, there is one question from Samuel, I see. You can maybe see it in the chat.
I can read it out. So it says, is there any POS or software vendors that Dejavoo is currently partnered with that are accessible to ISOs, or is this a new product intended to target ISVs and give them an opportunity to compete with companies like Cantaloupe?
Okay, so this is a very good question. It just described the versatility of the offering here, because basically we can enable ISVs that has a software and want now to go after the micro market. The micro market, just to make sure everybody knows the term, is those break rooms within confined environment, business environment, companies, offices, or an institution that is not open to the public and service its own clients, and they have those small collect rooms with multiple machines that you come and you pick from from the shelf your own. It's either in some cases AI-based identification, or you go and at the end of a process you scan it and you pay as you check out. So those are the use cases of Cantaloupe and the 365 that acquired them, and they are known for that. So we allow ISVs to grow into those spaces, and we will provide them the infrastructure and the technology stack so they can present a full solution and compete with Cantaloupe. Now, in some cases, we already partner with some of those guys. So if you, as an ISO, just want the full solution to present to one of your clients, then come to us and we will probably match you up with one of our ISVs that already developed such a solution. And in between us and our ISV, you'll have a full solution that can compete with Cantaloupe. I hope I answered the question.
I wanted to mention, Ayal, did you mention, excuse me, did you mention the funding element that we're going to bring here?
No, I think please refer to this.
Yeah,
I haven't touched it.
In the vending space, there's really no such thing as next day funding today. And it's usually a 3 to 4 day funding process. There's also not a gateway powered transaction solution that's processor agnostic. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I'll just touch it. Basically, the industry are, if you are big and strong, you probably can bend the rules and you'll get extremely good terms. But the typical operator would have typically experience a weekly payout. And clearly, any of the ISOs on that call or any ISO working with us would be able to provide the other day payout if they use thesis or the other acquirers that we're going to partner with to complete certification with Fiserv and Elavon. So this would stand out as an advantage. Another advantage is that I didn't want to drill too much into technicalities, but there are quite a few distinct differences. The other one is that our solution is geared as a default to enable not only refund, but also void. What does it mean? If there is a use case where a client stands in front of the machine and complaining about a bad product that would be dispensed, he would call the phone number presented and the operator wouldn't have the option to void. The typical option would be to wait another day and to run a refund. That means that it took longer time and the processing cost has been charged, even though it is pretty much unnecessarily if you knew it before the batch. In our case, we allow it. No, I'm not saying that the other players cannot offer it, but that wouldn't be the default scenario you would get. You'll need to drill down into the APIs and to find it out. So our approach is to streamline as much as possible the operation. The situation with this is so disparate to some of the operators that today, instead of waiting another day and running a refund, they simply sell out the money to the customer who was having a bad experience. They say, okay, I'm not dealing with it. It's $3, so I'm selling out the $3 to the guy. So in our case, you simply go live and you void it instantly. So these are few of the examples of the extra functionality and capabilities and ease of use to day-to-day in day-to-day life that we are offering. Yeah. Samuel, I hope that we address your question. If there is any other angle that you want to bring up, please feel free. And clearly, anyone else who wants to raise a question. Okay, another question. Thank you. The product will continue to be processor agnostic with Dejavoo. Yes. Okay. So as you may know, Dejavoo is not a player in the processing value chain. Our core model is that we don't do payment. We allow our ISOs, and if needed in some cases, the ISVs, to deal with the merchant accounts and to do the processing and to take it as their margin and revenue source. We just provide the infrastructure. We are payment acceptance solutions enabler, other than the payment processing. So to the point about getting funds next day, some of our current micro markets merchant would actually prefer to receive a deposit once a week or once a month instead of multiple small deposits throughout the month. Could Dejavoo provide such a solution for this in the future to allow micro markets to receive a deposit once a month? So again, as I said, this is not a question to us. This is a question to the ISOs that works with us. They could, I believe, take the money only in lower frequency. It's up to how they work with the acquirer. Chris, you may be able to elaborate a little bit about the
I
option
believe,
to.
yeah. I mean, I'm not the best at that side of things, but it depends on the processor. I think that they can do that from the processor side. There may be a withholding capability. From a processor's perspective, I did want to add there is a unattended element of your certification that needs to be completed, which we are finishing thesis right now, and we will be doing Fiserv North within the next few months for this unattended element. There are interchange levels for those types of transactions.
But as far as we say, the important thing that comes here is that we are not competing with the channels. This is very important. This is one of the major difference in this current market. Cantaloupe and Nayax, to the best of our understanding, are also the payment processing solution provider, and we allow the as I said, the a la carte approach, and therefore the operator can partner with the best offering across the range and diversify his potential providers. And whomever is the ISO or the ISV, you can build your preferred package with few alternatives that are available for you out there. So this is our approach, and we believe that this will best serves the various stakeholders that are in this market. Yeah. Any other question before we move to Chris? I think that Samuel, you've been doing great. Samuel, I will follow up with you in an email. We can set up a time for you to ask specific question. I will write here in the chat my email address, inviting you all to write to me directly, and I'll be glad to have to take call with you and your processes and your prospect, and support you together with my team.
So I just want to add, Ayal, I wanted to give you the lion's share because this is huge, coming into the market for us, and I think it's going to make a big splash with anybody that wants to join. We're not asking you to, as you can see, know anything about the technology. We'll do that. Bring us these operators. We'll talk them through interface. We'll make changes if necessary. The kiosk for the semi-unattended and unattended environments is simply Spin, which is our cloud-based integration. They can have access to the screen. It's an Android screen, the printer, the barcode reader, the payment device. We are looking actively for opportunities here so we can gauge what our first production run is going to be, how many it's going to be, and bring these in. But you're going to be under $1,000 for this kiosk system. It can be wall mounted. It can stand on a little foot. It can stand on a tall foot and be mount, from a tabletop or from a floor.
I'll just jump to correct. It's not the right price. It's very competitive. We are at around 2,200, 2,300. So
going through, I know, but when we go through our partners like Adam, it's going to be a little bit kind of that ballpark because of where we go to distribution. So
yeah, it may be a little bit. We're just getting, so it's not under $1,000. Sorry, I just want to.
I said 2,000. Sorry, if I said 1,000, my bad.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to correct.
If I said 1,000, that was way off. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Sorry.
All right, I'm going to hijack the next few minutes, guys. I've been with the company for all 20 years that we've been here, but I am in a new role. to go out and find new business and work with our distributors more to get them to grow. And that's kind of why we got this. So hopefully some of you on the call are maybe new to us, never worked with us before. I wanted to go through some stats and what we're doing mainly on our gateway, which is called iPOS Pays, which is where exclusively our P series is used. Our QD series can also be used there. It's growing in leaps and bounds. We're adding about a little more than 10,000 devices a month to this platform today. That's counting virtual devices, physical devices, tap on phone installs. It's now certified on TSYS, WorldPay, RS2, Elevon. We just finished EPX North, and that's released. Next is coming. Sorry, no, not next. But the gift card hosts that are also there. That's what I wanted to mention. Factor 4, Valuetech, STS. There's a number of those. So these are just some stats on the uses of the gateway right now. And then what have we done recently with APIs? Well, integration, that channel's gotten very, very busy for us. We've done over 600 integrations in the 20 years. We now have had to beef up that development support channel because we've been adding one new ISV a day for roughly 6 months. So we have APIs for card present. Now with the gateway, we have them for card not present. We've gotten very popular with our DB store, kind of like a pack store, same idea, where the ISV can come and put his app on the device and live there like an all-in-one. We call that deep linking integration. It does not go through the cloud method. We have a cloud method for when it's living on an outside system and it comes in, or they can do local area network also. We now have merchant boarding APIs for outside CRMs that partners may own to come in and build files into the system, configure the devices like for SPIN enablement, whitelist domains, which are for e-commerce solutions and things like that. We developed multi-merchant for the P series about a year ago. We now added that to integration capabilities, and that also includes multi-host within the same device. We've always had recurring payments, but we've added some things to API. So now that the API can get a request to create or edit or manage a recurring payment. For some of our PCI compliant ISVs, they asked if there's a way for us to pass back clear text of the card number, and we now have that available as well. And we've done a lot with what we call our Freedom to Design API, which is where merchants can use our payment engine on their website and make it look a lot more like their own website, less cart abandonment. And we've now added that to the Google and Apple Pay acceptance on there as well. So that's not just our little black box, as you can see in some of our payment screens. Omnichannel transaction status API. So we always had this thing where ISV can say to the terminal, hey, that transaction I asked you to do, did you do it? I lost connection. And if we say no, then they can go back and send that sale again, and that prevents duplicates. So now within the full ecosystem, whether they ask through e-commerce or through another API, they can check that status also. I find this one to be very new, profound release for us. We now have a USB method for interface. This is going to help me, I think, get into multi-lane environments with our P17 device. It's also going to lower the cost of integration by not having a cloud-based method as part of the lane items of the schedule. So the P17 is a Ethernet Wi-Fi Android device, nice big screen, nice big buttons. It takes tap, insert, and swipe, and you put it on a stand for a multi-lane environment. So we're looking for those multi-lane ISOs to come onto our gateway. We don't charge per transaction costs like some other multi-lane processing providers out there. It is flat cost, so I think I can also do better on the price. We've addressed CEDP. A lot of people have been asking about that. We've certified it for TSYS and North at this time. I believe Elevon is next and EPX is on board. So as long as you're now registering your merchant for the CEDP program, we have multiple methods depending on the type of merchant. Is it a single service, single project merchant? Is it a multiple product merchant? Or is this through an integration? And our APIs, yes, are now updated for that. So just on the sake of time, I wanted to mention that here. Inquire with us more if you need to know how it's done or how it's done. Let's stop there. We've implemented a lot of AI into our platforms these days. What's coming next is an iPOS Go, which is our tap on phone product. Think about, let's say, a food truck with dirty food gloves on, and every guy sale, he's got to rip off a glove and touch the device to run the sale. He can now talk to the device that's coming out hey Deja, run the sale, $5, and then it asks for the card. Hey Deja, I need a receipt, send it to email, blah blah blah. And so that works. That's coming now, and it's in testing for the Apple and Android phones. We've also come out with a new solution for iPOS Go, which is our CloudPOS TPN, aka virtual terminal, can now be used in the Tap on Phone product. So what will happen here is you don't turn on the tap, which means you don't pay us the $30 registration for that, and instead you also can use, like, when you use Tap on Phone, each device needs its own V number. Each device needs its own TPN, which there's a per TPN cost. CloudPOS TPN in virtual terminal eliminates all that, and also allows you to use the same TPN in multiple phones on that merchant. So there's a savings in the cost. But yes, you're getting your card not present options only. You're not getting a card present like the tap. That's your difference. We now have a digital ads feature within our command and control center that ISOs can upload images to their merchant screens on the fly, add campaigns. They can target a single device, their whole fleet, just a merchant. This is not something we're additionally charging for. It's just technology we're adding to add value to the platform. We have a new feature. About a year ago, we created a feature called Settle Edit Tip by Store, or Tip Adjust by Store. So it meant if you had restaurants that did tip adjust, and they had to keep track of which terminal they ran the sale on to go back and do the tip adjust, with the P series, that's no longer a thing. They can edit all tips from one device for the entire store. And now we have settle by store. So they can actually pick an option that says, go settle all the batches of all the devices in the store. I went ahead and did my tips already. So 40,000 merchants are already now using this feature. It's only been out for a couple of months. You know, again, if you don't know about the gateway, one of the biggest selling points of this gateway, and there's many, it takes us 90 minutes to do a full demo on it, is when the merchant calls you up and says, I batched out and I forgot to add my tips. And you guys go crazy with card service, you know, customer service. You got to go get the card numbers. We got to expose those card numbers to a human to rerun the sales. That goes away with our gateway. That's a big one. You can bring the merchant to a screen. They can bring it to themselves to the screen in transactions. And with the press of a mouse, they can get that new auth without exposing card data, without all of the customer service time frame. So a really, really big one. These terminals are bilingual, by the way, as well. Our QD and P series are bilingual. We're learning also about integrations as we're getting busier and busier with merchants. So if you just take a look very quickly at this graphic and the retention rate, you get a full retention rate, a very low monthly loss when you see it integrated. So we're seeing more and more integrations happening versus standalone terminals, and maybe that's also why we're much busier in that space. I do want to remind you all that we're not just a SaaS product company. We do have no monthly fee terminals like the good old Z line, if you still like them, or the QD line, which is an upgrade to your Zs for a very low cost. You want to get off that 16-year-old Linux technology. This is your answer with no monthly fees, same interface that you knew before, no learning curve necessary. They're fully ready for the future with PCI 6 certification. You'll notice that these terminals just went white, which actually added enhancements to them, better screen, faster CPU, more memory. They also support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi now instead of just 2.4, so it was a big one. But they still do everything else that we've always done that we champion: fee-based configuration, surcharge programs, with or without spin, as we call it. We have a pin pad connectivity now over Wi-Fi instead of just the USB method. We added EBT chip support to the hosts mentioned here. We're working on adding the other ones. WorldPay is coming soon. So if you need that, inquire with us on that. If you have a merchant out there doing EBT and he needs to upgrade on the chip. This is also supported on TSYS on the gateway, and I'd have to check, but I think Rapid Connect is also there. Let's move forward. So what else is cool inside iPOS Pays? I want to show you something about Command and Control Center. This allows me, if you take a look at the alert here in the middle, when I do an update on the file, like a parameter change, I don't have to walk the merchant through the steps from the star menu to do an immediate update. I don't have to tell them to wait overnight. The terminal now updates within 10 seconds immediately. So this pop-up comes up that says you're going to get an update. There's a 10-second countdown. It's incredible, man. It's going to save so much time with customer service that your company or your upstream partner is taking calls from your merchants. If you didn't already know, also our QD and P line have what's called a AnyDesk software built into it, and we can actually remotely watch the device. So we don't have to pull teeth and ask what the screen says and then press that button. We can watch it live real time while we're helping troubleshooting the terminal. We can ask the terminal for the date and time, right? We always got to ask if the terminal's date and time is right because we're troubleshooting a COM issue. So we ask them on an Android terminal, it's even harder. They got to slide your fingers down, get into Android settings, navigate to where the date and time is. So now we can tell the terminal from our screen, what's your date and time? And if it's wrong, I'm going to push to you what the time zone is. We're going to do that now, and then in the future, we're going to make it completely automated. It's going to go up to the gateway, and the gateway's going to say, you're wrong, here's your new date and time. I'll go process your transaction. In the meantime, you fix yourself. So we can also push instant messages to the screen. If you imagine if you're in a place that gets rough winters, for example, or in a place that gets nasty hurricanes, and maybe your phone system goes down, and oh no, now you have an emergency phone system or just email support. Can you imagine having to get that emergency message out to your entire database? We can now do that in the click of a button. So similar to what you see here, you go into an instant message screen and you can type whatever you want with or without an acknowledgement button like an OK, and a message pops up here for them to let them know what's going on. And you got about 300 characters, I think, there for it. They can scroll a little bit there. So very cool technology. We're always on the cutting edge. Let's move on from that one. We talked about that. This is also cool as far as our AI implementations. You're going to see something new when you're boarding merchants in the gateway, where you're going to see a little picture of our Dejavoo and this button here. You're actually going to be able to upload a var sheet. So it's going to cause you less data entry mistakes when you're adding thesis values, for example, and it's going to speed up time for your people that do the data entry. So no matter what version of the var sheet it is, we can test it first. If it's not one we've seen, if it's coming out wonky, pass us samples, please. Before we get into the production on this, it's going to be there in just a couple of weeks. But the AI bot is going to go ahead and autofill everything. We implemented a new feature called Blink Search as well, again, for search engine optimization and what you call the blink of an eye, searching for data. The bigger your database gets with transactions and you go to transactions, you're going to notice as you start these filters, you might see our purple umbrella logo spinning for a little bit like an hourglass. Look for a new logo on the top of the screen that looks like a lightning bolt inside of a magnifier. It's going to open up a new tab, which is our Blink Search, and it shows you all the different ways by which you can find a transaction. If you need any training or support on that, reach out to us, reach out to your RM or Dejavoo support. We also added a module for merchant invoicing for some outfits that don't do their own statements, or they just want to now be able to use our system to pass the fees to the merchant or make money on the fees and uptick it. So you're going to be able to do this for each and every merchant in the system, turn it on or off for every one of our line items of the schedule, name your price. You're going to put in a live mid of your own. And on the other side, you're going to add a credit card or ACH information from the merchant, and we're going to bill on your behalf. For the ISV world, we've also implemented Ask Deja for code questions. So there'll be a chat window in the bottom right corner of our Developer Central screen, which is where all of our APIs are. And they will be able to literally ask questions to this bot, and it'll answer back with code questions, merchant scenarios, what API should they look at, things like that. But again, we're not taking away our human support. We still have all the people here in New York and elsewhere around the world that are here for getting them to the finish line. We don't charge for support. We don't put them through certs or test scripts or anything like that. Check with Discount DCCSupply for any of our hardware models and pricing. You're going to notice a few new kids on the block, the P17, the P12, the P18, which is a killer tablet slash terminal payment device for ISVs. The price is amazing. It's got a laser scanner built in, tap, insert, and swipe. You'll see it on the website. So also look for the P18. And soon we'll be having a dual screen. So if you look at the P8 today, which is this guy here, there's a laser scanner lens in the front to do like barcoding. So we're about to release a P8 dual screen. We just started pilot. So some ISVs are now using it for testing. We're going to have one called P8 Go without a printer. That's about 6 months away, but within a few months, because we are getting our major stock in a week or so. So actually maybe about a month away, you'll be able to order these through DCCS as well. It's an amazing price. It's going to be under $400 for a dual screen P8 with a printer. Just wanted to do this really quick on e-commerce. We added Apple Pay and Google Pay through the maturity of the gateway. And this is some older numbers, but we saw the payment link success rate grow as we added Google Pay and Apple Pay. So the merchants may say, why is that there now? And can I turn it off? You may want to encourage them not to, because we're seeing this huge jump in usage. And one last thing, VARs. We've added a lot of new value-added resellers into our DV store for alternative payments. Bead is now available. It's a company that can do buy now, pay later services like Affirm and Sezzle, Split, Klarna. They can do Zelle. They can do crypto. Pocket is also one we're bringing online. I think it's online now, actually. That can do PayPal, Venmo, and PayPal's buy now, pay later service. Velocity is about to hit the store as well, which is also known as Blocko, Blokko. And they're a crypto provider as well. That's now within our platform. We've got some great loyalty programs. One's called Enroll and Pay. Another one's called Extra. These are completely baked into our platform for any type of transaction. So if you're looking for a fresh new loyalty program, inquire with us on that. And that's, I think, where we're going to wrap it up. So I'll stop for questions. We're almost out of time. But thank you for allowing us to come into your offices today.
Awesome. I'm back in. Give me a second to share. Don't go anywhere. All right. How you doing? All right. Anyone have questions for the big man? Mr. Clark, anyone have any questions? No. Okay. All right. If you're looking for Dejavoo shirts and hats and stuff like that, he's got plenty of them. All you gotta do is order a box.
We'll be selling them outside right after the show.
A box of devices, totally good. Just want to introduce DCC. If you working with us, great. If not,
just a sec, Adam. I see that Samuel has another question to Chris, probably. So maybe we can read.
Awesome. Are there any POF vendors that Dejavoo is currently partnered with that are accessible to ISOs, or is a new product intended to target ISVs? There's a bunch of them. You're talking that one was from
that was for IL before. Yeah,
no. The latest questions with Cloud POS.
I don't see them.
I see. With Cloud POS now available on the mobile application, will we be able to do multi-merchant TPN on a mobile device? Regarding the command center, can I group separate merchant locations into a single portfolio, or can I only push a mass update if they are all part of the same IPOS merchant account? Can you throw those loyalty programs into the chat?
Yes, I'm putting the loyalty programs into the chat right now, and we can get demos set up for you guys with those partners. As far as the cloud POS, yes, I do believe you can do multi-merchant. I put my email into the chat, though. If you can email me that question, I will double check. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that is an accurate statement. Regarding command and control center, can I group separate merchants into a single portfolio? Yeah, no, you can. So when you get to the command and control center module, you'll see a filter button. You can filter by merchant on the fly as you're creating something to actively push out, and we can show you that and train you on that. Good questions. Thank you.
Awesome. So if you've worked with us before, DCCSupply, we are a provider of hardware and comprehensive POS systems. We're P2P certified. We have an encryption facility. Cool thing about Dejavoo, you can do remote key injections. If you've got them over on Fiserv, you want to switch them over to TSYS, boom, you can do it. Super easy. Programming deployment, while people know us as a hardware location and where you're going to buy new or refurb equipment, what we do is deployments. So instead of you storing all your equipment, you're going to purchase it in advance, leave it here, and then we will deploy for you directly to your merchant. Our number one rule here is speed of time of getting it up and running for your merchant. We know that you make the money when they're processing. That's the key here. And so we will do the deployments for you. In addition to the hardware, we have a line of DC stands that are metal awesome stands that take a look at our website, dcstands.com. We have spill covers, silicone covers, accessories, carrying cases for all devices, printing solutions. We have printers, new and refurb. For us, we do the rentals and the repairs, deployment services. But what's really cool is if you have merchants that, let's say, you're switching out a device or they're closing their business and they have to send it back to you. Instead of you having a closet full of stuff, you send it back to us. They have them send it back to us directly. We check it in, we clean it up, we get it ready for you, and we put it on the shelf ready for you for your next deployment. So you've got a full life cycle of products versus them sitting there and then slowly they're sitting in the closet and all of a sudden they're end of life. So that's a huge benefit. I recommend you taking advantage of that. One of the cool things about our protection plan, besides the one that you can purchase, is that when you purchase from us and it's stored here for deployment, the warranty starts when we deploy, not when you purchase. So then we also do all the other tech repairs and anything like that you need from us. And we call that the PIG, which is a personal inventory group where you will store the product here. You can send orders to us via email, text, chat, WhatsApp. You can go back into our back-end system and order directly if you don't have one already. If you're ordering off our website, we recommend that in your ordering a couple times a week or whatever, get a login for our back-end system so you can put in the order yourself. You choose the products you want, and then you'll be able to see that order in real time, tracking serial, if it's on the tech bench, if it's on the shipping bench, and then you'll be able to see all the tracking serial in real time and get all that back-end reporting. In addition, if you have a larger number of orders, we have an API set up where you can send the orders in directly. And really what we pride ourselves on is communication. You do a download, and then because there's a two-factor authentication now in a lot of these downloads, we have to wait for that code to come back. So instead of it being a 15-minute download, it might be a 2-hour download because we're waiting for that code, we're waiting for you. The key here is communication. How are we communicating with you? Whether it be text, email, shared sheets, Teams, Slack, you name it, we can integrate with you on how you want to communicate. And it's just inbound of different forms. And then from a deployment perspective, how do you want your customer to see you? Right? Do they want to you just want to send them a box? Hey, here's a box. Oh, here it is. Okay. Or how do you want to tell them that we've tested this? We have test receipts that go in the box. Do you want your flyer to be on the box with your information? Right? You're like, oh, I want to put my information there. Yeah. You give us your information. We're going to have it ready for you. And we're going to put it in your box. Put your sticker on the side of the terminal. We have custom tape for the box. Instead of it being a plain white tape, we can put your custom logo on the tape. We have those ready to go for you here. So it's all about how that merchant feels when they open it up. The look and feel, the same feel. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get to that same feel when we open an iPhone. Right? It's so beautiful. Right? It's a beautiful sound. Right? That same feeling. People are like, oh yes, it's great. I love it. That's what we're looking for. And we will help you get there if you're not already focused on that type of thing. Shipping, we manage it end to end. Billing, however you want to be billed, monthly, weekly, whatever it is. And then we're at all the trade shows. So if you haven't talked to us or if you're not working with us, give us a call. Here's what we look like from a sales perspective. That's us. Any questions for us? Or kudos. Hey, Adam, you guys are great. You can jump in and say that too.
Hey, Adam, you guys are great.
There you go. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. All right. I do see a couple people.
Same for me.
All right. Yes. Love you too. So I do see a couple people we're working with on here. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Any questions, let us know. We will be posting this to YouTube. And we'll send you the links reach out to us for any questions.
It's in the chat. The link is in the chat for everyone.
It's in the chat. All right. Awesome. Yep, there it is. Awesome. Great. Anything else?
Yeah,
Thanks again,
I'll just conclude saying that NAMA taking place. NAMA is the Association of the Unattended World, and there is the biggest event of the industry each year. This year it will be in Los Angeles on April 22nd to the 24th. We will be there, and we will have a booth. It will be published on our website. Just for you to know. No, it's pretty much every year it's in Las Vegas. This year it's in Los Angeles, April 22nd to the 24th. This is the biggest event in the unattended industry. If you happen to be there, check our website. We are going to have a booth. I don't remember the exact booth number, and this would be our official launch and announcement. And would be glad to meet you in person if you drop by to say hello. So thank you for the opportunity.
I do want to say one other thing too. Dejavoo is doing a road show this year. We want to come down and see agents and partners and do an intimate setting. So our first event, I posted a link in the chat right now, is Los Angeles on April 14th. There are limited seats. I have posted an agenda. We'll have some video presence from our C-level. My CEO, my CTO are participating. My ISV development director, Serena, will come in and talk. I have some partners coming in on site in Roll and Pay, Bead, and a really cool program called Spare. So this is in Los Angeles on April 14th. Please sign up. There's a link in the post. Otherwise, the rest of the year, we will be announcing dates for Chicago, Dallas, Miami, Boston, and I believe, and New York. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. See ya.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much.